How hard can it be to make a commercial like this? I mean, you get a yellow board, turntable, tall glass, and a line. Tastes good. How did they get the lime to land like that? And the water to arc straight up when it's rotating? And why doesn't the ice go to the side if it's spinning? How does it move in slow motion but spin so fast?
We ended up calling the spinning rig of death, I think is the technical term we gave the whole device. I'm Steve Geralt. I'm a director and visual engineer. I found it's easier to start with saying I'm a TV commercial director that does food and beverage. That's like the core beginning. And then I say, but we use all sorts of crazy robots and rigs and things to do it because we need super accurate timing and control of events and impacts. It's kind of art meets science.
You know, I think it's fun to pick one specific example to kind of start off. We sort of landed on that Jack Daniel's honey commercial just because it looks so simple.
They came to us with this idea and they're like, oh, we want to drop a lime wedge into the drink and want to see it kind of splash out while the camera spins around it. So we're kind of like, are you sure you need the camera spinning around the thing? We can't just spin the drink on a little turntable and that would be a million times easier. And they're like, no. We want the parallax of it running around, And I'm like, but you want this in like super slow motion? They're like, yeah, we want it in super slow motion. I'm like, well, that means we got to spin insanely fast because once you slow it down, you're not moving very fast. And they're like, yeah, let's do that.
So on the bottom here, we've got weights that are holding the rig down.
Yeah, yep.
Because otherwise it's gonna fly out the window.
It'll wiggle itself to the point that it falls apart. Yeah. So basically that platform is going straight to the ground, which is tied into all the weights and everything. On that, there's an arm that's coming out about 6 feet, and then it's on a riser that's coming up, and the camera is bolted to that. Basically, it was a 4 horsepower motor driving this pulley around and around, and we got it up to 100 RPM. The other challenge that we didn't think about right away is like, oh wait, so if everything's spinning, how do you power the camera? How do you get video off the camera? How do you power the lights that are on board this spinning rig? We had a case full of batteries on the rig itself that's spun with the whole thing. We speed up the motor, go until we're at the full safe speed as we find is the right level before things start getting unbalanced or scary to us. It's a Phantom VO 4K, so it'll do 1,000 frames a second at 4K resolution raw. We learned that the tripod head that we had mounted on it couldn't hold the weight. The second it got faster, the camera just started like tilting up like this. So we're like, okay, we got to make our own custom mount. So we kind of just basically bolted the $100,000 Phantom camera to this. The way that the Phantom camera works is different than any other camera. It actually doesn't record to like a card. The Phantom actually records to just a RAM buffer. So basically it just records until you hit stop and it recorded the previous 6 seconds. It'll overwrite itself, so basically it's constantly erasing what happened 6 seconds ago.
As if you didn't have enough pressure already.
So we actually rigged a little RC car servo to like push the button via a little remote control, for us also. We started out with a piece of plywood that we curved, and then actually in early testing it broke halfway through the spin. We did a laminate, kind of like what you use for countertops. within that too, we needed to make sure the drink looked good. The food stylist would do that. And that's, one of our challenges. So the lighting has to be great. Once we got the rig, we got the camera secured, we got the lighting figured out, and then we had to drop a lime in the center of this thing on cue. So we had to build another device to do that. So basically a remote control device that we mounted to the ceiling that had like little hinges, like kind of barn doors that just kind of like flapped open when we pushed the button, so that we preloaded the lime, we spun up the speed, and then there it went, boom, down into the drink, and get the, that let us get the aim right. So we have 3 robots. So they're 6-axis robots. They have names. There's the one right behind me here is the Bolt, which we call Bob. And then there's Robbie, which is like this small version of Bob. And then we have Johnny 5. Johnny 5 is alive.
Hi, honey, I'm home. Number 5?
The Bolt, initially when you come to see your work, it's sort of the showstopper for an outsider like me. But then you realize that actually the crazy stuff is all the stuff that you're making. I guess from the beginning you realized you'd need to program supplementary robots to better control the motion of objects.
I started as a still photographer, just doing still photos. I started as a hobby, taking classes in like MIG welding and TIG welding and woodworking and plastics and epoxies and microcircuits and Arduino and Maya. I went down a multi-year continuing ed rabbit hole. I watch a few videos and like, okay, great, now I know how to do that. Like, here we go. Download, initiated,
Did you have any thoughts on what would constitute the creative breakthrough for you?
I don't give up very easily. If I plug in, it's just like I'll keep going until 4 a.m. or whatever it is. If it's like if I'm making progress towards something, problem solving is like the core of my passions. It's just like is how do I solve that problem? Can I make it even better? And next time, can I make it better?
I had a lot of fun talking to Steve and learning about the work that he and his crew are doing. It is crazy. It is super cool. So I want to make sure to thank our sponsor, which is Verizon. They've got an occasion that they're celebrating. They've turned on 5G nationwide. Guessing you've heard of 5G. Well, with 5G nationwide and in more cities, you get this unprecedented performance, a 5G ultra wideband. It is the world's fastest 5G. It means it's really, really, really fast. You can download an album to your phone in a few seconds. And basically, it's not just going to change how your phone works. It's going to change how pretty much everything works. There are a lot of creative breakthroughs that are going to come from this technology, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be. This is the 5G that America's been waiting for, and it's only from Verizon. They don't directly impact our editorial, but their support makes videos like this possible.